Note 6.3, dilations. So this is the second one of our transformations. So we've already talked about reflections, and now we're going to talk about dilations. So let's think about the familiarity that you have with the word dilate. To dilate, a lot of times you think about the pupils in your eyes. And what happens when your pupils dilate? Well, they change size. So that's exactly what happens in math with a dilation. So what is a dilation? It is a change in size. Okay, so they could get large, the shapes could get larger or smaller. Okay, so it's not just always getting larger. They could get larger or smaller. So how do you do a dilation? So mathematically, we're going to multiply both x and y by a scale factor. Now that phrase scale factor should be familiar to you from 7th grade math. That's going to be your multiplier. Your scale factor is your multiplier. Okay? So let's see what this all means. So it says graph rectangle Oleg, and then it says graph O prime, L prime, E prime, G prime after dilation with a scale factor of 2. So let's make a prediction here after we plot our original points. So let's go ahead and plot O, which is negative 3, 3. So that means left 3 and down 3. Make sure you label it O. L is negative 3, 2. So that's left 3 but up 2. And label it L. E is 1, 2, so we're going to go right 1 and up 2 and label it E. And G is 1, negative 3, so we're going to go right 1 and down 3 and label that G. So you're going to grab, I'm going to do the same thing, I'm going to grab my straight edge and connect those. Okay. So from O to G. This is not working as great as I'd like my straight edge to work. A little trouble with that. There we go. So now let's make that prediction that I had initially talked about. So if we're going to graph O prime, L prime, E prime, G prime after dilation with a scale factor of 2, so we're going to multiply it by 2. So what's your prediction in change of size? Is my original rectangle going to get bigger? Or is it going to get smaller if I'm multiplying it by 2? Okay, so think about that. What's going to be your prediction? Write your prediction down. Smaller or bigger? What do you think? Okay, so now let's see what happens. So we're going to state O prime, L prime, E prime, and G prime. We're going to write them out, and then we're going to graph them. So if my scale factor of 2, and it says I multiply each one, the x and the y, by, whoops, what just happened with my stylus there, got a little crazy, each one of those by 2. So what is negative 3 times 2? Hopefully you're saying negative 6. So I just multiplied the x. Now I'm going to go back and multiply the y. That negative 3 times 2. So all of a sudden, O prime is negative 6, 6. So what happens with L? So I've got to multiply the x and the y. Why that keeps doing that? By my scale factor of 2. So negative 3 times 2, again, is negative 6. And what is 2 times the scale factor of 2? 4. Let's do the same thing with E. So multiply the x, that 1, by the scale factor of 2. And multiply the y, which is 2, and multiply that by the scale factor of 2. You start to see the pattern here. We just keep multiplying everything by 2. And we got to finish it out because we've got to multiply G by the scale factor of 2. So if I take 1 and multiply by 2, I get 2. And if I multiply my negative 3 by my scale factor, I get negative 6. So here's my new points. Now let's go and plot those new points. I'm going to change color. So -6, so left 6 and down 6, and that's O prime. And L prime is left 6, but up 4. E prime is 2 to the right and 4 up. Let's see, and G prime is 2 to the right and down 6. G prime, oops, I forgot my prime up there on my E. And now, again, go ahead, grab your straight edge to make this new rectangle. So did your prediction match what happened? Okay, so this rectangle got bigger, okay, because it was multiplied by 2, so it was doubled in size. Okay, it was doubled in size. So I'm going to ask you to do 2 things on your own to bring to class with you. The first thing I want you to do is make a prediction or I should say, let's change that, not prediction. Come up with a scale factor that will make a shape smaller. Because we just used a scale factor of 2 and it made our shape bigger. Okay, so come up with a scale factor that will make the shape smaller. So come up with a number, okay? A number, because your scale factor is a number that when you multiply, it's going to make your shape smaller. And if you have to test it out, gee, you could use exercise 1. You've got something there. Pick a different scale factor, plot your points, see if it makes your shape smaller than your original, okay? So that's the first thing. And then the second thing that you're going to do are the properties of dilation. So I want you to Google those, okay, or look them up. Properties of dilations, and I want you to list out 3 of them. All right, so we're going to, I think, yep, that's it for the notes for tonight. All right, and we're going to come in and into class and practice dilations. Nice job.